Hello, welcome to The Pause. I'm Laia. Today I was getting ready for my morning writing session. I'm finishing my first novel, and I thought that since Sant Jordi is around the corner, it would be the perfect time for me to share something with you about books. Apparently, more and more people are struggling to find the time or even the desire to read. Today we're going to be talking about books. So today I'm sharing a little trick to help you shift your habits, read more, and spend less time glued to your phone. We'll talk about how to read more and scroll less, what to read, and creating time. As a writer, reading is super important for enriching my vocabulary, finding inspiration, and refining my craft. But sometimes when I'm feeling uninspired or overwhelmed by life and I just want to stop and sit down with a good book, I somehow can't manage to do it. Instead, I fall into a dark hole where instead of using my free time for things that nourish my soul, like going for a stroll, reading a book, playing my ukulele, I vanish into a sea of 6-second videos showing carefully curated, performative snapshots of other people's lives. By the time I resurface into the real world, there's no time left to read. Sound familiar? So how to read more and scroll less? If there's one thing that I've absolutely had to do in order to make progress writing my novel is learning to prioritize. Because I do have time, but I don't have time for everything at the same time. That's why I've had to find a way to create space for reading in my daily routine and to reduce the time that I spend on social media, mostly because it doesn't really nourish me. The trick is simple, but it's not always easy. Let's take it step by step, friends. I don't want to be too obvious here, but first things first, if you want to read more, you need to have reading material around. Ideally, a physical book. I'm one of those people that likes to read 3 or 4 books at a time because since I use reading as a creative tool, I pick a book based on how I want to feel. So what to read? Well, let me give you some recommendations. Right now, I'm reading non-fiction in Catalan. I'm reading this book called Atreveix-te a fer les coses teva manera, which means dare to do things your way, which is a super practical and encouraging manual on how women can revolutionize the world of leadership. I highly recommend it if you speak Catalan. So in Catalan, for fiction, I'm reading Sola by Carlota Gurt, which is a novel that starts with a countdown and it grabs you from the first paragraph. And when it comes to fiction in English, I'm reading the famous Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison, which if you want to fly, you gotta give up the shit that weighs you down. So that says it all. And finally, I'm listening an audiobook, which is Normal People by Rooney. And it's got me hooked for now because I'll read anything, but it's not exactly my style. Do you have any book recs? If so, please share them in the comments. I know it can be hard to find a book that grabs you because, to be honest, it requires a lot more focus than watching a TikTok. And often, even our friends' recommendations don't quite match our personal style. Exhibit A. Normal People by Rooney. I'm one of those people that likes to read fiction, but I don't like romantic novels, for example. So if you recommend a steamy love story or maybe a biography, chances are I won't be very excited about it. But here's the solution. I invite you to visit your local bookstore or library and of course browse a little, but also ask for recommendations. Some of the best books I've read lately were recommended by my trusty bookseller, Patty, who introduced me to authors I didn't even have on my radar. So I'm super, super grateful for her. And when it comes to creating time, all right, now you've got the book. But the point is for it not to become just another piece of decor in your home, okay? The idea is to read it. As I said, I truly believe that we do have time. The thing is, we often waste it. So what can you do? Next time you have a bit of free time and you're about to grab your phone and start scrolling, probably losing hours of your life, pick up your book instead and commit to reading it. That's it. Read as much or as little as you want. A sentence, a paragraph, a chapter. Use a timer if it helps. I have this one, which I really enjoy, and you can put it on for 5 or 10 minutes. It's your choice, but keep it simple. I know it might feel like these are tiny amounts, not even real reading, but If you do it enough times, not only will you make progress, even if it's slow, but you may actually start to want to read more often. Falling into the black hole of social media isn't entirely our fault. I think that by now we all know that algorithms are designed to keep you hooked. What we can do, though, is slowly start cultivating healthier, more enriching, and more creative habits, like reading. And the best way to do that is one page at a time. All right, my friends, that's all from me for now. So until we meet again, pause often, breathe deeply, and be kind, especially to yourself. Much love.